Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to take my first step into weapon builds. And for today, the one that I want to do is on one of the newer Incarnons that came out, I think it was 2 weeks ago now. And it's the Sybaris Incarnon. So the Sybaris, it has 3 variants that you can put the Incarnon on. The default, which you get from your Tenno lab in the dojo. The Dex Sybaris, which as far as I'm aware is not obtainable currently. It was an anniversary item, I believe. And the Sybaris Prime, which I believe is vaulted, so the only way to get it right now is to trade it from another player, which can be kind of expensive depending on what the trade is. So for the Incarnon, Tier 1 we have Blazing Barrel, base damage increased by 15, and on firing you gain plus 5% multi-shot, stacks 10 times. Your second one is minus 60% weapon recoil, because the recoil on this gun can be a little crazy. If you really want to, this will increase your reload speed once you fully empty it by 60%, and this one will increase your magazine capacity. I wouldn't really run this one too much, because you don't really need it. If you want to, and you want more reload speed, this one's perfectly fine. But I go for the weapon recoil, because the recoil on this weapon is a little silly. And then for your third one, I go for this, which increases our crit chance by 5, and our status chance by 10. Now, for the build, I'm running this on the Dex Sybaris. So the stats are a little different between the variants because the Prime has a little lower crit chance but a little higher status chance. And this one, I have lower status but higher crit. And I'm not sure about the normal one. I imagine it's the same as the Prime, just a little bit lower overall. And before anyone mentions it, yes, my galvanized mods are not maxed. At the moment, I have 1 copy of each of these mods, and I'm using them over a few different weapon builds. So for now, they are only up here, which is still pretty solid. But for the build, we have this Galvanized Chamber, which gives you multi-shot and then multi-shot stacking on kill. Speed Trigger for some more fire rate. Galvanized Aptitude for status chance on kill. The Bane, just general faction mod, because this is really nice to have. And it increases your damage by quite a lot having it versus not having it. Vital Sense for some crit damage. Rifle Elementalist for status damage and punch through. Critical Delay for more crit chance, but you lose a little fire rate, but that's fine because we're still at a plus 40% positive. And then Hellfire for some heat damage. So that's the build for this one. You can use this on any of the 3 Sybarises, but I'm using it on that one. And then I've also paired this with Gauze, which you don't have to run Gauze with him. I just like Gauze as a weapons character, because of Redline giving you these massive buffs for your weapons. So most of my weapon builds I will probably show on Gauze with and without his buff to show the comparisons. But I really like Gauze for Steel Path and things like that. But yeah, that's it for the build. Let's jump into the Simulacrum and I will show you how some of the damage works. Alright, now we are here in the Simulacrum. So this weapon, if you don't know, let me shoot it here. It's a 2-round burst. And let me spawn some enemies in so we can show off the weapon. I will be showing it off against the Corrupted Heavy Gunner Steel Path enemies, because I think they're the strongest ones to test against right now. So, you can see here, let's go ahead and get our Incarnon farmed up. There we go. Alright, so once you activate the Incarnon, what it does is instead of being a 2 burst, it's now a 4 burst. But it also does blast damage like crazy, and you can see there it also kind of armor stripped him. So this weapon, basically, what you want to just do is activate the Incarnon and just go crazy with the headshots. And then you'll stack up all this blast damage on the enemies, and then over time they will take the statuses. And they're not dead yet, but there we go. Now, what I like to do for this one also, to increase it even further with its capabilities, is activate Redline on Gauze for all of those buffs that Redline gives, which is fire rate, reload speed, I believe some damage and some other stuff. And then with that, you can come up and this is just as fast as it fires, is as fast as you're willing to go. Activate it again. And continue just absolutely frying these guys. The Incarnon's back off. We'll farm it back up. There we go. But this build, I would say, is pretty solid. I use it every now and then in Steel Path. I have another video coming out soon that is the weapon I use mainly. But, and then you can see here, we'll activate our Incarnon, and we can bake these guys. And these are some of the tougher enemies from what I've gathered. So, you know, anyone that's not these guys is going to take a lot less or a lot more damage comparatively. Like, here, let me jump in here and I'll grab some Grenier. Who do I have? We'll just go with these guys, I guess. We'll max them out. Okay, I can only spawn one of them, it seems. Well. Oh, it didn't even spawn him. But yeah, that's the build for this weapon. And the next one coming out, if you are interested, the next weapon will be Fenmore. That video will be out not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow on the 10th, I believe, if my dates are correct. And then the next frame video coming out will be either Jade or Saren, depending on which one I'm deciding to do first. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's the build for Sybaris, and I will see you guys in the next video.